I'm Patrick Coppolino, and I'm a stand-up comedian.
I'm from here in Hamilton. Yeah, Canada's Detroit. I never do, obviously. I would never hit my own kids. I don't think you should be allowed to hit your kids, but I do think you should be allowed to hit other people's kids. I really do. I was asking people like where I find an envelope for them, and they're like, nah, dude, it's a postcard. Just throw it in the mailbox. I'm like, well, then the mailman's gonna read my shit. It's not cool. I would.
I never really understood what stand-up was in terms of a career, but I always saw it on TV, and it was when I saw Jeremy Hotz. He's a Canadian comedy legend. I think when I watched him on Just for Laughs, it was kind of like the first time I realized that was his job. I don't know if he mentioned it in his sketch or something. And so I remember there was a brief moment when I was like 12 years old where I wrote jokes and stuff like that, and a friend of mine who was going to be my manager, and then that phase kind of disappeared because I had no idea how to get into it. I've always had a sense of humor. I'm a bit of an introvert, which is, I've noticed, is a common thing in comedy, which is kind of odd because we get up and talk to people. So that was always an easy thing for me to do, was just kind of interject into conversations when I found the opportunity to say something funny. So once I realized that I could do that, pursue it as a career, just be funny for a living, I guess that was the most appealing part about it. It was really not until I did my first set that I knew for sure that that's what I wanted to do. It was awful, I bombed, but the rush I got, and it was very therapeutic for me. So I just knew from that point that that's what I wanted to do. There's always a little bit of anxiety, but in a good way. Like, it's an exciting nervousness. It's changed my life. Like, I always say, like, comedy isn't so much just a job or a thing that I do. It's a lifestyle. It's just, my whole life changed, and it's kind of revolved around the comedy now. So anytime something bad happens to me, there's a very brief moment of, being upset, and then it quickly turns into how can I make this funny and talk about it on stage.
Because you can come home to your housewife naked in an apron, cooking dinner. That's hot. Some fun stuff's gonna go down, I'm sure. But she came home to me naked in an apron. She's like, "Oh, I guess you didn't do laundry today." Just end up getting in shit.
In 2013, I got to start touring with Tom Green, and I was a huge fan of his throughout high school and stuff like that, so that was really exciting for me. And that happened over Twitter. I just happened to see a tweet. He was looking for a comedian that can shoot and edit videos as well to go on the road with him. So I just tweeted him on the off chance, like, might as well, and actually got his attention, and we did like a test weekend in Vancouver, and that just turned into an ongoing thing ever since. So we were in New Zealand, and we're in the same hotel as the Wayans brothers and Wayne Brady and Trevor Noah and all these guys, so it was pretty bizarre. I always have these surreal moments, or like if we're in Vegas, we got to hang out with like Andrew Dice Clay, Chris Angel would hang out with us backstage and stuff. Those moments, I kind of like just sit there and almost like I can see myself in the third person, like it's bizarre. It's like I walked into my TV set or something. One of the goals as a comedian is to eventually acquire an hour and then shoot a comedy special. And I got to shoot my first one here at this club in September. It's just neat to have years of work acquiring that hour, and then to kind of get it on film and put it out there is fun. It's exciting.
Well, she asked me one thing that really threw me off. She goes, "Daddy," I'm like, yeah. She goes, "How are my fingers attached to my hand?" I'm like, I have no fucking idea. That's a good question.
It's an exciting thing to think about the future, but it's also a scary thing because there really is no telling how far you can go with it. I never want to stop doing stand-up, and I just want to continue touring the world and performing for people. If you're in it for fame or money, you might as well just not do it. If you love it, then I think you're just going to do it. I'm Patrick Coppolino, and this is my Handmade ID.
I was expecting at least one. Nothing. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you.